on the bell. Bloomberg's comprehensive cross-platform coverage of the U.S. market close starts right now.
And right now, we are 2 minutes away from the end of the trading day. Romaine Bostick alongside Alix Steel. We're counting you down to the closing bell. And here to help take us beyond the bell, it's a global simulcast with Tim Stenovec and, Carol has a day off. Sonali Basak in for Carol Master, who is taking a well-deserved, once again, 4-day week. Welcome to all of our audiences across all of our Bloomberg platforms. Sonali, how are you feeling?
I'm feeling good.
Right.
I am very much here for you today, Romaine.
Oh, good. Thank you. Somebody is. Tim, how about you?
I'm feeling good as well. I'm also here for you, but I'm also wondering where the action is when it comes to the equity market today. And I think kind of everyone, after it was a big week, thanks to a couple Fed-friendly economic data prints. But I think people are taking a step back, Sonali, and saying, okay, well, Wednesday we get NVIDIA earnings. That's like the next big catalyst for big moves.
Yeah, and in the middle of the week, it was kind of like everything is fine. Everything was exuberant. You had some key moments really pass the market. But there was divergence in indices today. And when we looked at the bond market, we are back above 480, guys. I was looking at that 480 level all week and seeing if we were going to breach it. And indeed, we have, although still some optimism there in the bond market around the potential for cooling inflation and lower rates ahead.
I just feel like the equity market just doesn't care about the bond market, like whether they move in tandem, and you have seen that happen this week, or you see higher yields. I mean, it feels like if we're going to set up for a range, anything below 5 for the 10-year seems to be something that the equity market can digest at this point.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, we keep pulling our hair out over what the Fed's going to do next, what's on warp, and I get it. I get that there's got to be some sort of awareness as to what the Fed does next, but I don't know. I mean, we hit record highs yesterday. It looks like we're, at least on a couple of the indices, we're hitting another record highs here. So I don't know, if 5.5 didn't break this market, and that's the velocity to 5.5 didn't break the market, why is staying at 5.5? Why am I supposed to believe that's going to break the market as well? Let's walk you through the numbers here, because a relatively good day and an extremely good week here. The Dow Jones Industrial Average spent a good portion of the day in the red, and yesterday traded above 40,000, but could not hold that level into the close. Now looks like it is going to close at that 40,000 level. You like nice round numbers? Well, you got one. Yeah, put your hat on, Alex. You finally time to wear it. 4,004.41. I don't know if your hat just says 40,000 or if you were precise enough to pick that, but that's good enough for a 0.3% gain on the day. The S&P 500 back above 5,300, 6 points higher, 0.1% on a percentage basis. The NASDAQ composite, though, is going to finish the day in the red, but only fractionally down about 0.1%. Similar story for the NASDAQ 100 and the Russell 2000. We're just going to call it unchanged on the day, lower by a fraction of a percent. But we should point out all the major indices posting weekly gains.
Taking a look at under the hood of the S&P 500, we did see 290 stocks move higher on the day today. 211 ended up moving lower, Alex. So not quite equally split, but pretty close.
No, but it's really the cyclicals that are doing it today for the S&P. I'm taking a look at IMAP right now. So energy is up by over 1%, outperforming the rest of the sectors within the S&P. Then you have materials, obviously driven by what we're seeing in copper and gold and silver. And then you have the financials. Financials are up by about 0.6%. So from that perspective, relatively broad-based. On the negative side, you get tech actually underperforming, information technology down by about 0.5%, consumer staples, and real estate trading a little bit light as well. But it's so hard to make a lot of hay out of what we're seeing, to be honest. And Romaine, I really do agree with you, too, that if we got past certain hurdles for the bond market and if earnings continue to deliver and earnings growth and sales estimates continue to rise, I mean, how do you not buy stocks at this point?
Yeah, I can just say, though, I am a little worried. And you want to know why? Because I feel like the earnings season's over, right? The economic data is kind of coming to a trickle. So is this all going to be just like hopes and dreams that people are going to buy, or do we have to kind of wait for, I guess into July when we get into the next earnings cycle or something like that? I don't buy into the whole sell in May, go away, but it does kind of make you wonder what is going to be the upside catalyst.
I think maybe NVIDIA next week, maybe it's June 12th for the next Fed meeting. We're already looking ahead to that. And a lot of Fed speakers between now and then, too. So, yeah, we'll see what actually moves markets. One thing that did move today are the gainers that I got an eye on. And I want to talk a little bit about Chubb because it had its best 2-day period going all the way back to 2020, thanks in part to what Warren Buffett did over the last few months, thanks to a 13F filing that we got a peer into on Wednesday afternoon. Berkshire Hathaway building that stake in the company. Shares higher once again today, finishing higher by 3.6%. Chubb shares hitting another record, and they've added more than $8 billion of market value in those 2 days. Chubb also did say in a statement yesterday that shareholders approved a boost to its dividend. I want to talk about Reddit, because Reddit shares surging today. This after the company said it forged a partnership with OpenAI that will bring its content to ChatGPT and other products, while also helping the company add new AI features to its forums. According to a statement from both companies, this agreement will, quote, enable OpenAI's tools to better understand and showcase Reddit content, especially on recent topics. So what the deal is going to do, it's going to allow OpenAI to display content from Reddit and also train its AI systems on its partners' data. We should note that Reddit's content has long been used to train data for AI models, including those of OpenAI. It's something that they talked a lot about in the run-up to the IPO just a couple of months ago. And finally, shares of Robinhood. Reddit up by 10% today. Shares of Robinhood also surging. They had their best week of the year because the meme stock mania just continues to grip markets. 12% higher on the day today. Bank of America actually raised their recommendation on Robinhood to buy from underperform. The analysts noted that rising retail engagement and accelerating organic growth will drive 2025 and 2026 earnings up. So maybe meme stock Sonali are here to stay?
Perhaps they are, actually, and we'll talk more about that in just a second here. But I do want to talk about what was down on the day, because, of course, under the hood, we know that the picture was a little mixed. I want to start here with Paramount. You did see this being the worst decliner here in the S&P 500, shares down about 4.9% or so on the day. And, of course, we know Paramount has been caught up in that acquisition story, what happens to the future of it. And, of course, there's just kind of other news going on in Hollywood here. A union representing laborers are in talks with the studios on a new contract for stagehands, and that will resume in early June. So a lot of news on the front for entertainment. I also want to show you Lam Research, because it was interesting. One of the indices that was down on the day was the Philadelphia Semiconductor Index. Interesting to see it down ahead of NVIDIA earnings next week. NVIDIA also down today, but Lam Research down even more and was a drag on a couple of indexes on the day a little bit. Now you have it down around 3.3% on the day today. Another one I want to point out here is Sun Power. This is where the meme stocks come back here, because of course this was a meme stock driven stock this week. You have seen it take a leg lower after a rally of more than 90% over 2 days. At one point it was down more than 23% on the day, now down around, closing around 13% or so. And there was an analyst cut as well at Wolf Research, downgraded the recommendation on the stock to underperform here. The stock will come back to reality once the short.
I was looking at some of the other names too. I mean, obviously GameStop is down, but like Faraday Futures, that was down 38%. Fisker is down 16, 17. So it looks like a lot of these names. I mean, it looks like some of them still posted weekly gains, but nowhere near those big jumps that we saw, Alex, at the start of the week.
Yep, aren't taking a look at yields because, the one thing that also down is the bond market. So yields popping higher a little bit here, ending the week. Interesting kind of round trip. If you take a look at sort of the moving averages, the 2-year yield closed above the 50 and 200-day moving averages after kind of blowing below them earlier in the week. Plus the 10-year is sitting right at that 50-day. And I bring all this up because how we then open on, Sunday night and Monday morning could be quite interesting depending on where the technicals kind of suss out. But you are definitely seeing the propensity for higher yields despite stocks and bonds moving together earlier in the week.
Yeah. Okay, it's Friday afternoon. I know, you're getting ready to go to your Hamptons place, everybody. But if
I'm going to Romaine, so that's fine.
Yeah, that's where I go to because I don't have one. Alex
and I are way too crunchy to go to the Hamptons. Please.
But if we were in Florida, maybe we'd be getting ready to go to the Hamptons of Wall Street South, which is not going to be
what is that?
West Palm Beach.
No.
It's actually going to be
Cocoa Beach?
An island in the Bahamas.
In the Bahamas?
Yeah, that's if a developer has
is there
way,
like a
Rafael
jitney that takes you there?
Yes.
I mean, how do you get
there?
there?
Are fast ferries. You can take your helicopter. I mean, there's options.
You can take
you
your
could
boat.
take your own boat.
Yeah.
People would just take their own
my own
boats
boat.
and
take your own boat.
Why didn't I think of that?
You can buy a cheap boat, too, and just take it down there, too.
Yeah, sure. Thanks, Sonali. Why not?
You know what, though? It's actually pretty close to parts of Florida. It's like, if you're not stuck Hamptons traffic on a weekend. Instead, you can take your helicopter from Miami or Wall Street South, Sonali to this island.
Oh,
yes.
yes.
New York. How long does it take to get from New York?
Yeah, you got to fly down there
longer.
first.
Oh.
Depends on the mode of transportation, Romaine.
No, okay. I'm just saying, there's a jitney right outside the office.
Yeah, then you
that
wait
takes
in
me to the
line, and you
Hamptons,
got to
but-
sit in traffic. So anyway,
Can't they just do like one of those duck boats, and they can just just take us right out to shore, and
but
we can just sail away.
It's hard with all our luggage. But this is a really interesting piece. You guys should definitely read it. It looks like it could be beautiful. The island would be called Bimini. It's like 48 nautical miles off the coast. Like this is this is the Hamptons for the ultra rich down in Wall Street South.
I'd do it.
I know people who have done it, but the worry here is that too many people do it. Once people find out about something, it gets less fun when everyone's there. It's
tough stuff. It's tough stuff. It's tough stuff.
Haven't they been saying about that about the Hamptons for the last 40 years?
Forever.
All right. Well, we're going to see all you guys at Romaine's a little later this weekend.
Yeah, please,
Yeah,
please
we got
stop
the
by.
jitney right now.
All right. That is going to do it for Beyond the Bell. It's our cross-platform coverage of the market. Close on Bloomberg TV and radio. Bloomberg Originals in on YouTube. Have a great weekend, everyone. We'll be back same time, same place on Monday.